Hi, everyone, and welcome to Astro Kara. I am here. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't know if I want to classify it as my spiritual journey or just my own personal healing journey, but I am taking a challenge from some amazing women in my life who have encouraged me to show up. And this has been an ongoing work in progress for me, showing up on camera and just showing up, period. Not necessarily hiding behind my work, but actually being present for myself, with all of you. So I want to say thank you to all the women in my life who are encouraging me and supporting me in showing up. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about, I guess, my journey or my path in learning some of this stuff and embracing some of the courage to move forward with something that's very vulnerable for me, which is showing up and being seen. So I'm a solar Gemini, and we're getting ready to move into Gemini season. I'm getting ready to have a solar return. I've just recently had a Mars return. So this is a perfect time now with Mars and Aries to do something new, take action on something that is important. So I guess I wanted to mainly just focus on what it is that I've been learning, what it is that I've been putting into practice, and how I feel that I can be of service to you. I have a sixth house Pluto, and so it's very important to me to be of service. One of the biggest things that I have gained information about, gained experience about, learned through, evolved through, come through, however we want to describe it, is learning and embracing, maintaining internal and external boundaries around my own emotional needs, around where I begin and where other people begin, where I end and other people begin, understanding that their emotions are not mine. Even though I feel it, I feel very connected to other people's emotions. That's part of my makeup. And holding space, being a container, really recognizing my own container of my own emotions, connecting to my own emotions. My emotions were turned off for a very, very long time, decades of my life, due to trauma, due to conditioning, and not connecting to those really created an inauthentic me. And part of what I'm trying to put out in the world is this idea of being authentically you. And in order to do that, I have to show that I'm being authentically me. So coming on and discussing my healing journey is very important to me. So first, as I mentioned, that container and understanding my own emotions, reconnecting to them and how they feel in my body, and not just logically, how do I discuss my feelings? It's really, how do I feel them? And then the idea of codependency. I'm a Pluto Libra, so our whole generation is really working through relational issues, and one of them is the biggest part of it is codependency, people pleasing, projection, expectations. If that all sounds familiar to you, you're probably a part of my generation, or you have heavy Libra influences in your chart. And it's a lot of the conditioning of the patriarchy as well, which leads me to my idea of radical feminism. And to me, what that means is that whatever femininity means to you, whatever masculinity means to you, that is for you. But we don't need to, this is my personal feeling, that we don't need to condition people to be one or the other. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. One gender or one part of the whole is not less than. We all have that energy within us, and it's a matter of how we embrace it, how we use it to live our lives and create our own space and our own and manifesting our own desires. Being able to speak out on your own personal truth. Our Pluto and Sag generation is here to teach us about that. And we are beginning to embrace what that means for each of us. As Uranus has been moving through Taurus, and Jupiter as well, now that Jupiter is getting ready to move into Gemini, it's about reconnecting to what is natural. What is most natural for you? What is most natural for me? And how am I accepting the things about myself that are natural to me? Jupiter, we talk about it being the explorer and things that it expands and it creates, and it's this power of abundance. All of that is very true. But the other part of the Sagittarius archetype that I think gets forgotten sometimes is the idea of natural law and what is seen and observed and real in nature that's been unadulterated by humans. If we think about applying that to ourselves, when I think about applying that to myself, what is most natural to me in how I flow, in how I relate, in how I think, that is not adulterated by conditioning? How can I get back to that and accept that and then speak out about it? I was very much brought up with good girl conditioning. And some of that is soul memory from the Libra generation. You know, we are coming into this world with the soul memories of serving others, other people's feelings and what they need come first. And don't make other people uncomfortable. I have always considered myself to be a catalyst. I've always known this about myself. I always often warn people who spend time with me, whether it's a short period of time or a longer period of time, you will not leave my presence without some sort of initiation of change. I think this is my Aries rising, my Mars in Aries. I have Jupiter on my ascendant. There is part of me that I am beginning to accept more readily that I am a change agent. Whether I mean it to be purposeful or not, me being my authentic self will challenge people. It will initiate thought processes within people. It helps or hinders sometimes people from recognizing things about themselves, things that they may not be ready for, that they may not want to look at, is something that I will bring out and trigger in them. In my younger years, this was given to me as feedback that was negative. There was something wrong with me or something wrong with what I was doing. Why am I making someone else feel bad or feel triggered somehow? And so I began to mask. I began to condition myself that I'm not allowed to act that way. I'm not allowed to speak up for what I know to be true. And that leads me to the other part, knowing your own truth. And not just your own personal truth, but your intuition, and trusting what you feel, what you know within you. without trying to second guess it or without trying to rationalize it or put it into some other kind of context. When you know something and you don't know how you know something, oftentimes that's your intuition leading you, guiding you, showing you something, telling you something that's important. But we have such a habit in today's world of just brushing it off. That's not real. Or we've been conditioned. You're just making it up. That's, oh, you just have an active imagination. That's not real. How much have we been gaslit through just society? Because conformity has been the norm. And if you think outside of the conformity, then somehow you're wrong. Things are changing. The way we speak, the way we think, the way we relate is changing. And a lot of that is working through the Pluto Libra generation. We are changing the way we relate to each other. Pluto Scorpios were here to call us out on our bullshit, to say, this is the truth. This is the bottom line stuff. Let's stop skirting around the surface. We got to go deep to have transformation. Our Pluto Sages are here to say, yep, this is my truth. I'm going to speak it. If you don't like it, too bad. And our Pluto Capricorn kids that are now coming into early adulthood, they're here to break the conformity. But I digress. Those were all my notes, actually. Talking about breaking patterns of codependency, learning boundaries, internal and external, speaking my personal truth, breaking the boxed-in patterns of good girl thinking, understanding what it means to mask and how to remove the mask safely and in safe spaces, how to create that container for yourself, being a catalyst and understanding what it means to be authentic and the implications and the consequences of being authentic, and also the benefits of being authentic. Having the courage to show up and to know what you know without second guessing or rationalizing or gaslighting yourself. So I guess I just wanted to come on to share a little bit about that, to be more open, to be more authentic, to help you as my viewer get to know me a little bit more so that you know who you might be working with. If you are interested in working through some of these things, if this has been challenges for you and you are looking for tools and support and guidance to overcome some of that or to work through some of that, this is my journey. This is what I've been working on, what I feel like I have been able to make some heavy strides toward changing in my own life. And if that is something that you're looking for, I would like to extend, I would like to offer you my service. That wasn't my original plan to come on and talk about my program, but while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've called it the Catalyst Coaching Program specifically because of the idea that I am a catalyst, and it is designed to support you, to give you tools to help you work through some of these challenges. And even if you have other challenges, we can work through that. I use evolutionary astrology. I also have a trauma-trained background. I'm a retired nurse. What else can I tell you about myself? I'm a Reiki master, so I do use energy healing in a lot of my practices to help create a safe space. And yeah, I think I will end there. Again, this was really just a challenge to myself to show up and have the courage to create it and put it out there, and so here it is. I appreciate your time. Thank you. And until next time, take care of you.